Well, the annual African EduWeek is expected to draw some 2,000 teachers and education professionals under one roof at the Sandton Convention Centre in Johannesburg this week. This two-day interactive conference and expo on education is expected to focus on technology in the classroom. Now, joining me now is Videsha Proothveerajh. She's the manager of Intel Corporations in South Africa. Videsha, appreciate your time. Just tell us a little bit about this EduWeek.
Thank you for having me. So EduWeek is really one of the premier conferences held around the world, and it's about enabling ecosystems and ensuring that learners and educators have access to equip themselves to provide a more quality education.
It's such an important issue in South Africa, considering our sort of past and current education. What are you saying? What will the teachers be exposed to during this conference?
So there are many areas. I mean, Intel has been really involved in the field of education for over 40 years. And we look at a holistic approach to solution, whether it comes policy down to equipping teachers, to ensuring learners have access to 21st century skills, which is really important for them to succeed in the world going forward. So they will have access to the entire continuum of resources available in terms of learners, teachers, educators, content providers, and even government, all under one roof.
What is Intel the computer company? What is Intel? Is that a different Intel?
No, that is Intel.
Okay.
We are the world's leading microprocessor company, but one of our focus areas has been education, because we do believe that by giving children, teachers, the entire ecosystem access to quality education, it really is about changing lives. Intel's vision is to ensure that everybody on this earth has access to technology, and it's really about touching lives.
It's all good and well. I mean, I don't mean to be negative. It's all good and well to say, the iPad is the new sort of form of education. But for South Africans in the rural areas, that's a distant dream. Many of them don't even know what the internet is. How are you going to be reaching, the rural areas?
So I think, there are many challenges that are endemic to the education system, and I have seen, and Intel has seen, how education and technology can actually leapfrog some of the challenges we have in terms of the traditional brick and mortar infrastructure that's required. So it's really about working with the operators, for example, to ensure that there is access to a broadband connection, for example, in the rural areas, and then providing the teachers and children with tools such as Intel Explore and Learn, which is a resource hub where you're able to get access to all kinds of relevant curriculum for students, and then the teachers also have access to Intel Teach, which means that they're equipped to facilitate technology in the classroom. So it's really about pulling together all these resources and helping the education system evolve and perhaps leapfrog, as I said, some of the challenges in order to ensure that even these children in the rural areas have access to a quality education, which might not be possible if we continue in the traditional format that education takes.
I found it interesting you mentioned the difference between a teacher and an educator. What would you say the difference is?
So, currently we have a lot of teachers who really are content experts. We're looking to equip these teachers to get them to the point where they facilitate learning in the classroom. So it is not necessarily about being just the content expert. It's about being able to facilitate a classroom where children are able to learn at their own pace and really, live up to their potential according to what's possible, not just in terms of what is given to them and regurgitated.
And who are the delegates that are going to be attending?
So the delegates are really varied, all the way from government, from ministers, officials, educators, providers, some of the students themselves. We will be launching the Intel South African version of She Will Connect. She Will Connect really has come out of a Women on the Web report that Intel was part of in 2013, and it shows the gender divide and the technology divide that exists across the world, but more importantly in emerging markets. So we will be launching the local chapter of She Will Connect, which is really about bridging that divide, which currently sits as high as 43% in sub-Saharan Africa.
When you say 43%, I mean it's obviously a big thing between the haves and the have-nots.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really is, and she will connect, which is a program that Intel has launched, is really about bridging that divide and making sure that up to 50% more women have access to technology in the next 3 years. So we will also be launching that at EduWeek this week as well.
Let's talk about the government's intervention. What are they doing, and what kind of sort of level are you expecting from them?
So government is doing a lot around education. We currently interact with them a lot from a policy perspective. We work with them on educational programs in terms of making sure children and teachers have access to a holistic solution. It's not about dropping a device in a classroom. That's never the answer. It's about making sure there is access to technology, there is content available, that the research and the methodology is in there, the teachers are trained, and government has been working quite closely with Intel, and we have a lot of programs that have been rolled out in South Africa in conjunction with the network operators in some instances as well.
Brilliant. So, I mean, it's closed off. It's a delegate-only conference?
Well, it is open to the public, but it is a fee-paying conference.
Okay, so people can go?
Absolutely.
Okay, just give us the details.